In this video, we're going to look at how we can use our graphics display calculator, the Casio FX9860G2, to plot graphs for us. We're going to look at three graphs. We're first of all going to look at y equals 3x plus 2. So we're going to start by going into the graph page, and that is either done by pressing 5 or the down arrow key and then enter. So 5 to get us to the graph page. We're plotting y equals 3x plus 2. And so the first thing we do is we make sure that our function here is in y equals mode. So we look up here and make sure it says y equals. If it doesn't, we're going to have to change the type, but for the vast majority of things we want y equals, so it should be in that mode already. So with it in y equals, all we do now is type our equation into the thing. So it's y equals 3x plus 2, so we do 3. X is the button underneath alpha here, and then plus 2. We hit enter, and our graph is saved. Now all we have to do is press F6 to draw, and it will draw the graph. Now the problem is sometimes our view window will be set up like this one, so you can't see the graph. So we have to press F3 to change the view window settings. And we can see here that the minimum X value is 1900 and the maximum is 2018. Well, we don't want that. Normally, the best thing to do is to press F1 for the initial settings. And then when you hit enter, you can draw the graph again, and the graph will appear as we want it to appear. So that's y equals 3x plus 2. Now let's look at the next one. We're going to do x plus y equals 7. So we're going to go back, press exit to clear it back, and we're going to delete the equation here by pressing F2 and then F1 to delete it. Now to do x plus y equals 7, well, I already discussed that we have to be in the y equals mode up here. So we need to rewrite our equation as y equals something first. So y equals 7 minus x. Once we have it like that, we just type it in. 7 minus x, enter, and then draw it. This time, our view window is not that great again, so we want to move around. We can use the arrow keys to move around the graph to find the best view for this graph. We went up here, we've gone a bit high, so actually we need to zoom out a bit. So we can press zoom and out, and then when we hit enter, it will zoom out. And there we go, we've got a view that we can see nicely what that graph looks like. The final graph we're going to look at is a quadratic. Y equals x squared plus 5x plus 6. So we press exit to get back to the graph menu, and we delete the one that's there. We're in y equals, so that's perfect. We want x squared plus 5x plus 6, and we hit enter to save the graph, and then draw to draw the graph. We can see it there, but we might want to zoom in a little bit. We can change the view window, and this time we're going to go from an x minimum of, let's say, minus 5, and we're going to go up to 5, and then we shall try drawing that and see what it looks like. And we can see the graph there, and that view window looks okay for what we've got here, because we can see all the points that are important on this graph. So that's how we use our graphics display calculator to draw graphs. And we can draw any graph As long as it's of the form y equals, we can draw any graph in here. We do have other types, but we might want to have it as F4. You can see F4 here. There's an x equals. That is sometimes useful if you want to draw a vertical line, x equals 3 for example. And if we click on, we can also get inequalities which are much less useful for what we need them. As I said, the most important